2025 was 79% of those 1,100 students that had attendance issues, they showed improvement. Those with externalizing behaviors of aggression showed an 80% improvement, and those with academics showed also an 80% improvement, and those with more of the anxiety, depression showed a 79% improvement. The next few pages really are just life stories from a young lady that was in and out of foster care, group homes, the work she did within mental health to really move forward in life. She now is a para in a school district, was also recognized for some of her good work that she does as a para, but the journey that she had to take to get there. So it was a real amazing. She did the work where we're just there to support her. The next one is about a husband and a wife that had a young son that had struggled in and out of school. They were very nervous about even getting started with behavioral health. So we know stigma's still there, but they followed through and walked through the journey, and we walked with them. They felt like there was times they were overwhelmed with health concerns, work stress, daily responsibilities, and then just whether their child would get through school every day. And they felt like services were a life changer for them. So let's talk a little bit about our impact in 2025. We provided care to 5,309 individuals. So that's 300 more individuals than we provided care to in 2024. Out of that number, 870 folks were provided care in Dickinson County. Some of the top reasons for accessing our services for adults was depression and anxiety, and for youth was ADHD and anxiety. What we are seeing in the adult population since COVID, post-COVID, is depression and anxiety. We're seeing more of that with all the political stuff going on. And just people that normally think they have it together, they've come through the front door saying, I sometimes can't even function at work. And we know that mental health is very important in making sure that they're successful with their job and overall helps the community stays within. You're going to see our financial overview. You'll see that our expenses were less than our revenue at this time. Our budget really is about $23 million for the year. Those dollars are reserve dollars. So when I talk about reserve dollars, it's really helping understand that behavioral health has changed over in the last decade. Probably Central Kansas is not the same you've seen in the last 10 to 15 years. We have really moved into a healthcare system. When I first started almost 30 years ago, I was a case manager, and it felt like I was more of a social service, like a social service agency versus a provider service. And through the years, and through the education and studies, mental health is about physical health too. It affects it all. Physical health can affect mental health can affect physical health. And so being able to explain that the healthcare system is finally recognizing behavioral health and mental health as a part of the primary care world, and that we had to evolve with that, becoming more of providing essential parts of healthcare versus just referring them on to something. We are no longer an organization that talks about just providing services in the four walls. We're in jails, we're out in the community with mobile crisis, and we're in the schools. Really, any place that needs us, we want to be there. We provide trainings to banks on mental health first aid, and any community partners or community members that need to understand mental health better. We find that manufacturers will call us. We've had several incidences of accidents on site where there have been a loss of an employee, and they've reached out for us to do debriefing and working with other employees that worked close with them. Probably the biggest change in the last few years is us becoming a certified behavioral health clinic. And I'm going to say CCBHC because it's simpler and not a mouthful. But when we changed to that, we had to provide a broader continuum care of services. So we have always been mandated to provide 24/7, 365 days a year crisis services. That's changed to mobile crisis now. That means when somebody's in crisis, and we take the call. We have to determine, is that something that we need to get out there to prevent law enforcement involvement, ER involvement, anything. I mean, avoid hospitalization. About 89 to 90% of those mobile crisis calls were able to divert, meaning we haven't had to call law enforcement. We haven't had to take them to the ER. Really, it's just a life-altering situation, critical situation that they feel like they're not being really well, and we're able to divert them and get them into services the next day. One of the accomplishments I'm pretty proud of over the last couple of years is that we're able to address our access to care. Probably 3 years ago, it would take you 6 to 8 weeks for your first appointment. If someone's ready for mental health treatment, 6 to 8 weeks, you're not ready anymore, if that makes sense, or you've resolved the issue. We now have same-day access. Person can call in, walk in, they're seen same day. It's a little bit longer process now because we are looking at the full health care of an individual. So we're asking questions about substance use. We're asking questions about physical health. One of the biggest indicators for intakes now is the social determinants of health. Those are things like housing, employment, getting those basic needs met. If you have an individual that's struggling with mental health or behavioral health or substance use and they're homeless, let me tell you, they're really focused on trying to find a place to live, and that's where our role comes in. So we're really proud because the individuals do not have to wait for 6 to 8 weeks to get the care they need. And that level of access didn't happen by accident. It required us to hire more staff. It required us to look at our systems and our technology, our workflows, our infrastructures, and really to rethink how behavioral health care needs to be delivered for our communities. It's not about delivering care just in the four walls. Our goal is to deliver care where people live, socialize, and work. So as you know, with those revenues, we have to provide the level of care expected today. We must recruit and retain qualified professionals, and that is psychiatrists, nurses, licensed clinicians, case managers, the whole gamut of what it takes to run a mental health center. And we have to compete for talent. We still probably have about 20 to 30 positions open, so we are still have a workforce challenge. But we are competing with hospitals, we're competing with private providers and telehealth organizations. I don't know how many of you guys can see that, but I hear advertisements and I see things on television about, well, just call this number and you'll get connected to your telehealth provider. They don't tell you that telehealth providers in Oregon or Maine or all over the United States. They don't know our system and they don't know our communities, but we are in competition with them because they hire people from our area. Because of that, our compensation is not simply a salary issue, it's an access issue. We cannot recruit and retain qualified professionals. People have to wait longer for services and prices can escalate. So we take compensation very seriously and we conduct diligent market evaluations. So what we look at is in our area, we look at the hospitals, we look at the IBD providers, we look at primary care, we look at private providers, and we want to make sure that we're paying our staff what they're worth at market value. Now, as part of the costing study for Medicaid, that's where our big dollars come from right now. Because when we changed from a CCB into a CCBHC, our Medicaid dollars changed. And that's why you see the ebb and flow of we have revenue, we don't have revenue, and you'll see a large amount or a smaller amount. That's based on a costing study, and that costing study takes all the services we deliver and all of the staff and costs that it is to have that staff, and then they come up with a daily rate for us. So that's why we look like we have some really good reserves, but that rate has to sustain us for 3 years. So every 3 years, that rate is changed. So with us being so new, you're going to see the revenues ebb and flow to where eventually they level out. So those extra dollars that we have come with the expectations and the responsibilities of expanding our staff, our infrastructure. Like I said, we're at capacity. We've done the youth building. We're almost finished with that. But the next step in our journey is looking at what are we going to do for crisis stabilization for our communities. We still have individuals that can wait several days in emergency room for a bed placement for a hospitalization. So there'll be futuristic conversations with all our county, city, and county commissioners and community partners of how we can come together to create a crisis stabilization unit that officers and law enforcement can drop an individual that they're dealing with off so that we can assess and maybe get them into the right spot that they need to be versus an officer sitting for hours in an ER. So those are some of where we're looking at for our dollars. So when I talk about that and I move into our partnership with Dickinson County, just to give you an idea of what we provided last year, I'm not going to go word for word from this document, but really we provided, like I said, services to 876 residents. That equal to be 18,323 services. So that doesn't mean that one person might have gotten an array of services while some other ones might have only gotten one. We provided about 142 crisis interventions which occurred in the community. That means we either went to the individual's home, worked with law enforcement, went to the ER and worked with them, but that was 142 crisis interventions. We will continue to meet this need even when reimbursement does not fully cover the cost. For example, the cost of all these services was $345,084. So far, based on the sliding scale fee, we've collected $39,502. So our lowest fee is $20 right now for a care. So the county dollars go for that sliding scale fee. Even $20 for some of the individuals coming through our doors is too much. That's why you see that we only collected $39,000 of the $345,000. This gap continues to reflect the ongoing need for community support services and that local investment. So I like the county to understand that this is not simply an added resource, but it's a foundational investment that allows the behavioral health system to function locally. While Medicaid and insurance does support many services, like I can use Medicaid dollars to reinvest and create new services, but I can't, and pay some salaries, but I can't use all the Medicaid dollars. That's fraudulent. Medicaid dollars have to be reinvested in the Medicaid population. So when you look at after you take all the Medicaid dollars out of our system, we still are underfunded by the state and counties. So while Medicaid, we want to make sure that we're fully covering the cost of care so we can keep our doors open. But we want to also reach all individuals in need, and we can't do that. We don't have the funding to do that. But my biggest goal is to sustain crisis response and community-based access. I want to make sure that if anybody decides that we shouldn't do any community-based for community mental health, that I'm on the bandwagon to say that's where the real work happens. Without community investment, the system does not go away. The county's cost shifts to law enforcement, jails, and emergency rooms. County funding allows Central Kansas to intervene earlier, provide appropriate treatment, and reduce reliance on higher cost systems. So for example, this last year, we signed an MOU with Dickinson County Sheriff to where we can help some of their dollars go further. What I mean by that is we are going to provide mental health services as needed in the jail. That is at a cost base for the jail versus them contracting and having to pay a contractor a higher amount so that the contractor can remain stable. That helps our county dollars go further and helps their county dollars go further. I cannot bill anything when I go into the jail because it's all inclusive in the jail's responsibility. But I feel like we both partner well, that it makes those dollars go further. So when you look at the last few years, we've given you the investments from the last 6 years from Dickinson County. And after further conversation with my board of directors, we are going to ask for a respectively 3% increase in Dickinson County funding. This will reflect the growth in individuals served. Right now, on average, we have about 100 individuals coming through the door. through just our 5 counties. It'll also address the public safety system so we can continue to partner with law enforcement to address behavioral health needs as they arise, and really that long-term community sustainability. The county dollars ensure that behavioral health care remains accessible, responsive, and locally driven. I really appreciate the partnership. So I'm going to try to be here as often as I can for county meetings, just in case you need anything else from us, but also to understand what's going on in Dickinson County. Do you have any questions?
I do a little bit.
Okay.
Help me and just I want to help me understand.
Okay.
You guys have a pretty massive carryover.
Yes.
Help me understand. Help me understand that.
So they're mainly Medicaid dollars.
Okay.
So those are from the change that we had from becoming a CCBHC. Our Medicaid rates had not changed in 20 years.
So how much of your revenue is for Medicaid, and then how much?
That's 72% of that.
Okay.
So it's a high amount of revenue that comes from Medicaid. So as part of being the safety net, I'm also required to have reserves. So if our budget is 23 million, I have to be able to mandate and meet that safety net requirement. I do know, and back in 2000, we lost over 58% of our state funding. That happened to prevent us from paying and giving increases for 5 to 6 years. We lost staff, but we couldn't afford to hire new staff. So we took on many more hats. And so it's right-sized this whole CCBHC movement by the state, that we're the only state that has this as part of our Medicaid plan. So you're going to see those dollars look bigger for the first few years.
So question, just help me understand it all. The state's going to give you some money.
The federal, it's state and federal dollars that are Medicaid only.
Okay. How will those be applied? I'm just curious.
They're applied for salaries, infrastructure, and services for the Medicaid population.
Okay.
So those that come in that
How
aren't
much of
Medicaid,
the people you serve is Medicaid?
about 72%.
I'm just trying to understand it. Like, it's a big number.
it is.
30% carryover.
Yeah, it's complicated because we also throw in private insurance.
Huge carryover number.
Yeah, we cover private insurance, Medicare. Those haven't raised in 20 years.
It just, I don't know. It's not your problem. It's the Fed problem. But like, they're going to give out that money and then we can't use it for other things. Like, that seems ridiculous.
Federal dollars.
Like, you have $7 million in carryover and you can't use it.
So that's why I can use it for my.
That's half our budget.
I know. It's kind of crazy, but.
Yeah, no, it's not your fault.
No,
Hopefully you're not taking it that way.
The state will
Figure that
say, okay, we're not gonna have that forever.
True.
Because it's catching up for the 20 years. So that's why we invested in a building. We're able to use those. So we use those dollars.
Gotcha.
Because if not, I have to come to the counties and say, I need money because I have no more space for staff to provide care to counties. And I can't get loans. Because if I get loans, the counties are responsible for those loans if I were to, God forbid, go belly up. Everything that we have for our center, we pay outright. So we save and we save and we save to make sure that we can pay everything in our pocket so we don't have to come to the counties and ask for more dollars.
Surely you can use the interest income.
Some of it we can, and that's what we put in towards our buildings.
Gotcha.
Like, I have to look at all my roofs now because
You have a pretty good, healthy interest income too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all of that's reinvested in infrastructure.
I understand. I just was curious.
Good question.
I was like, holy mackerel, that's a 30% carryover. That's you guys are doing great.
So it's like, I know the world because I've lived in it for 30 years. I know I have had increases for 5, 6 years.
I had that.
Sometimes it was a 1% increase and the cost of living was maybe 3.5 or 4%.
Sure.
It's the same thing you guys do with your county employees every year is what can we afford to give?
Mm-hmm.
And we're able to reinvest that in our building so we don't have to have loans.
I don't want to degrade from what you guys do. Sorry, I'm a budget guy.
No,
So
that's okay. Those are
I
good
look at
questions.
the numbers. I'm a business guy. So
That's okay. That's a good question.
no, but side note, I think mental health is something I've been pretty vocal about it. I think it's an issue, and I don't think we have enough facilities to really truly handle it
We
correctly.
don't. We're gonna have a new state facility in Wichita, but in reality, we still have for Larned, which is our area. There's sometimes individuals who are just so full. Somebody can wait 5 to 6 days to weeks in an emergency room. And I'm trying to figure out how to balance all of that. I think what's also hard to understand is all of those federal dollars have to be reimbursed in Medicaid. So all the dollars that I might be able to collect that I can move, but it doesn't cover those that are privately insured. And it doesn't cover those that are underinsured and uninsured. With, as you know, a lot of people are falling off Medicaid. So our Medicaid rate will continue to drop. So then those dollars will continue to drop because people are going to have to re-up their Medicaid every 6 months. So people don't have the capability or the understanding to do that. So they'll fall off and they'll have to start all over. So that's what my staff helps with. We're trying to do some preventive work with that, with the MCOs in the state to see if we can prevent individuals from falling off Medicaid because they didn't submit that. But those are good questions. Do you have any others?
The 876 individuals served, is that separate individuals or is that like multiple visits?
That's separate individuals. Yeah, it's the total services is what we provided for those 876.
That's a lot.
And what's been sad is we lost a couple providers in Dickinson County in our main office in Abilene. So we're trying to rebuild that. And that's been difficult. Because then what we do is we put those providers in Abilene into schools. And then our aging population in the Dickinson County area is continuing to increase. So we have to get providers that are Medicare or eligible to bill Medicare because we have such a large portion of that. And that's going to be a population that's going to be huge. As you all know, I helped take care of my dad for 2.5 years before he passed. And I saw a lot of things that we had to do for that aging population.
Right.
And so Medicare doesn't cover all the specialty services that they need to do. So it's just and when you go to do the budget, it's a crazy world. Because you have so many payers and the payers change and insurance doesn't pay their part. They still pay us at wages 20 years behind. But I'm working on that. We're having conversations.
That's good.
Just have a few percentage increase.
So your budget request for 27 would be go from 146.60 to 144.80.
Yes.
Any questions, Ron?
I got some comments, and I don't take these personal.
No, that's okay.
Mental health is very, very important.
Mhm.
We all know. But any of us lived long enough, we've seen what happened in Topeka in mental health. The facilities closed and people were just thrown out and had nothing. It's very important that we preserve it, but we have to make a footstep to move forward. Are we gaining on it or are we not?
So Kansas was registered as, what was it? We were like 15 for mental health.
Oh, ranking in the
Yeah.
country? Oh, we were like way.
We were like a very,
Yeah, it's understandable.
we have flown up to the top with our movement to CCBHC. So we're like,
We're in the top 20.
we're not top 20. So we're making strides. I think showing our numbers that we're serving, we're making a dent. People are not afraid to come forward and talk about, I just need someone to talk to. It may not be someone that needs years and years of mental health services, but they might need a step up or support because they're going through a really rough time. Maybe they're going through a really difficult divorce, or maybe there's some things going on. We want to make sure mental health is there for them too. Central Kansas was built to address those being thrown out of state institutions, really. That was the whole purpose. My goal is to say mental health, Central Kansas is there to provide any mental health care they need. So.
Well, thank you for your presentation today. and we
I'm
got your-
long-winded, so I apologize.
No, you're not.
Passionate about mental health because I've been in it for so long.
Well, you gotta be.
Yeah,
You're doing what you're doing.
yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Reach out if there's any questions, okay?
Appreciate it. Thank you for coming in, guys.
Yep.
Martin. Your turn. Good morning.
Morning.
How are you today?
Sun's still shining.
Yeah? Heard we got a little bit of flooding yesterday.
Yeah, we did. And
You oughta,
it's all strip down there from 900 Avenue up to about 1600 Avenue. They had to have 2.5 inches of rain in about an hour. So
Mrs. Hoffman, yeah, I was gonna say, she had a pretty cool video.
I talked to a couple people on the road. But ditches along Key down south, they were full on that, flowing like a river. So, yes. But all is well today.
Whenever you're ready, go ahead and let's crack into the highway, road and bridge.
Do we
But
want to start with the budget or do you want to talk about the contract agreement? with-
Let's get through the budget and then we can do that.
Let's just go ahead and start with environmental services. I'll say road and bridge for that. Environmental services, I did not increase. You can see where I decreased all the funds that I thought was available on there to decrease. Dues and membership, I cut it in half. You know, travel and training and registrations, I cut it in half. Cut off supplies by 500, I didn't cut it in half. A third of it. Anything else, I've kind of left about the same. I don't believe I'm asking for anything more than last year, except the line that looks odd is parts and supply on the full page, because we joined, before I got out there, they ran in like 4 or 5 different line items. And we combined all parts and all supplies in it and put it in one. So hopefully we've hit the number right there. I think we did. HHW disposal. I think we were over there a little bit. We cut it by a third. HHW expenses. We cut it by 1,000. Okay. Can do that. You know, mainly everything stayed the same. And the rock budget out there, I cut it by $1,000. I think we'll do a better job of managing. So that came up on 0.343%. Environmental services. I don't think I can take anything anymore away. I did not raise anything, and that's we cut.
I don't have environmental.
Okay.
I have noxious weed.
You have Marcus Green?
Mhm.
Okay, let me go look and see.
You have it, Ron?
No, I just got nothing to do.
I think the biggest problem with environmental service right now is the unknown where Republic purchased hams. And so we're still trying to get some information back from Republic on what that's going to look like and how we're going to be able to handle the transfer station moving forward. Unfortunately, we're at a time where we have to set a budget for 2027, and there's still some things up in the air on how the operations and all of that. So as we get more information, this could be a budget that we have to address at the end of the year.
We haven't got the,
Potentially.
Got the numbers.
Like,
I've asked, Sarah's asked, Janelle emailed them.
in our yeah, and with the, I think with the timing of that buyout, I will say I have a feeling it's a significant number of
just
individuals.
running around in circles.
Well, I think the cost of it, and us being 10,000 tons, we're probably near the end, bottom of their list to get to us to straighten the contract out. I can guess all I want, but we don't know what they're gonna.
No, you gotta wait. You gotta wait.
Yeah, so we have to see what the.
So did you budget off that, our last $75 a ton?
We're still budgeting right now off of the current contract that really puts us through, and that takes us until March of 2027. And that's the concern, is though coming into 2027, if that contract doesn't come through, or if the rates come back and it's more than we can afford, or we have to reevaluate how we're actually providing those services, that's something that we'll be having a lot of open discussions on how we want to move forward.
And we might be just talking all about it all. Yeah. Not just.
And at the time, from a budget standpoint, obviously, we don't want to increase this budget, by $500,000 not knowing. And so we're going to have to set the budget for 2027 with what we understand and what we know today. And then if things change, we may have to come to you and present the options, what it would cost, how we're going to fund that, and then look at potentially a budget amendment if that were to happen in 2027 after we have more information. But at this time, we have to set a budget and we have to work with the numbers we have today. And so as things come and they change, if we're able to get more information prior to August when the budget actually gets approved, then we can come back and adjust that.
I'm gonna briefly explain this for everybody. I don't know if anybody's lost, but so we contract out our solid waste to be hauled off. It was by Hands.
Mhm.
If I remember correctly, Hands sold their business to Republic. I don't remember their full name. It's Republic.
Yeah.
We don't know. It was $75 a ton before. We're pretty much anticipating it is going to go up. I don't want to give an estimate right now, but I think it's going to be a pretty decent increase. So we're going to have to address that. We got to have a solid waste solution. And there's some other things stipulated to that. I don't think we get to do right now, but there's just to kind of explain it to everybody what's going on.
Currently, environmental services that is funded through fees, and that would be the potential. We'd have to look at really the revenue coming in, what we charge for those fees, and if we have to reevaluate.
There's some more with that too, equipment. And I mean, there is some other conversations that have to happen.
Yes.
And to be honest with everybody, not cheap ones. These are trailers and trucks and
Loaders,
loaders,
building improvements.
It's going to be a big project.
But we do need Republic to answer us back so we can move forward.
Yeah. And so far, no response.
So I left it back as it is.
We're still hauling, right? So
Yeah, they're still hauling. They've had some issues themselves.
when does that contract come?
March of next year.
Okay.
Yes.
So it was this year. I was going to say, we're out of contract. We're still doing it. I guess.
Yes.
If I'm broke, don't fix it, right?
We still have a little time.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Martin.
So move on to noxious weeds. Short and sweet answer is because of the changes I've made and the amount of spraying we're doing, and how it was run before, and the volatile nature of the chemicals. I'm asking not to change it at all. Don't really see anything in there I'd like to lower, or can lower. I'm asking to leave that budget exactly it is. I'm not asking for any more to it, but I'd like to leave it where it's at. I say it should stay the same for me to be able to afford. Hopefully in January, you're seeing one heck of a bid and qualifications for all the chemicals that we use. The chemical sales is just jumping so much. I'm going to try to do the massive order at the right time this next go round and get them bought and get them stored. We have the room out there to put 2 semi-loads of pallets in there in the shed. So we're going to make room, and the only separation to be is what we're spending on our roads and then what we sell commercially. You know, I'm hoping everything else, the numbers actually to me fall where they should.
appreciate that. I'm a little worried about it. I'm not gonna say it's very often, but I think you're gonna have noxious weed problem this year.
Oh, my God.
Where are seeing.
I mean, it's seeded out and then it rained like 4 inches. I don't know. I think we're gonna have an issue. Yeah.
Our office is out, pitching 8 more properties today that we have problems with. It's umpteen fold more than it was last year. You got all yours sprayed, huh?
But Martin, you guys did a good job. The timing of spraying is so critical.
Right.
This stuff are going out, it's too late now.
Right, yeah.
And these fall, early spring, early and late fall,
And we
nobody jumped.
And we went earlier than we ever did, and then still hit the weather.
Yeah,
And couldn't get it sprayed, and we couldn't beat the wind. When you can't spray above a 12-mile-an-hour breeze,
you can't, yeah,
we just couldn't. This year just
yeah.
sacked us, quarterback sack. We didn't get.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll move and we'll spray the rest of our stuff for the fall.
Yeah,
Spray after the summer work and try to hit that part of it as best.
absolutely, yeah.
But, I mean, you bat an eye and the pistols are headed out and we're done and
Just like that, yeah.
yeah. But it is, I think we had 6 places where we sent the letter to KDOT. I mean, they had a ton on Highway 18.
Yeah.
43 and 4. Yeah, they more than we've ever sent them. You need to do something with your thistles. And they didn't spray at all. So they didn't get out. They didn't get it done. So yeah, we got.
Yeah, critical time.
But we're going to be hard at it in the fall and the next spring and try to get better luck with the weather.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll do what Ron says. I think you guys are doing the best job we can. I know there's a lot more out there, but it's what we can do. So I worry about it a little bit this year. I think you're gonna be fighting some battle this year.
And the other thing we got now with all the rains, we got all the culverts we found that need cleaned out and ditches. So I'm clean out long old 40. I've got 3 places now that we come the winter, we got to clean them out. And we cleaned them before, it fills back in. But we had a lot of water that shouldn't have went over the road as soon as it did, because I don't want to blame it all on it, but a lot of it is the no-till that gets to it. And once the no-till blocks the tubes, then the water fills up and goes over the road. It's out here between barn and camp out there. We was filling in a driveway, it washed our whole driveway out. We had guys putting 30 ton of rock in there. I got over and took a shovel and pulled out tree limbs and filled debris, got the water draining. 5 hours later, everything was drained. So if the tube would have stayed open, we've been great, but I cannot beat the no-till. It's part of a help to the farmers, but it's a burden to the drain.
It is.
Man, I hate it, but I'm not farming. If I was farming, I would. So.
Is it getting that bad or what?
It is. It drains, instead of draining and going down the ditch, it just washes off because no-till gets slick.
Yes.
And then it all just runs off like it rains. And most times then it hits down the middle of our road on 2700, and then going down the ditch that Jeff cleaned out.
And that's all because of culvert got
Yeah,
built.
and well, it's not still draining. It's not the right name. It's,
Yeah.
So, yep. Oh, yeah. It's been that way.
Can't beat the stocks.
Yeah.
The old days of plowing it under every year.
Yeah.
Road and bridge, highway department. Want to go every line? Want to building maintenance? Leaving it the same. Dues and membership, leaving it the same. Contract services, that's our data that we have to buy every year. This stays, have stayed the same according to what my cost to be. The travel, training, and that, I cut it by $5,000. Cut it down to right now, our CDL training, we are full up on employees, and so I'm hoping I don't have to send anybody to CDL class, which is about $4,000 some odd dollars to go. So that was where our main cost was in the past on that. And we're full up, hoping to stay that way, so I'm cutting the travel and training. Uniforms and maintenance. I did go up on that, but we also were finally fully staffed, and that's where the uniforms and maintenance material and safety equipment came to. So, miscellaneous expense, township day, that type of deal. We did cut it by $1,200. It was 2,400, so we cut it by 1,200. Road maintenance contractor. I could get bids and tell him for doing it, and we cut it by $5,000. Hoping I don't have a bad year, and we don't need a ton of flooded roads and a ton of maintenance. You know, but I'm gonna bet on that I'm a winner next year. So personal service, that's salary. Yeah. Road maintenance went up just a little. Asphalts went up. The oils went up. It did not go up a whole lot. Doesn't have a percentage there, but $90,000. We'll probably cover the increase in asphalt and the increase in, we can always hope that gas and oil drop back down to $1.80 a gallon. But I can't tell on that at the time. For fuel costs, leaving that where it's at. Now, on the fuel, we are going to be buying more with the MOU with the city of Abilene. And so I didn't want to change that because we may be rolling the money out every 4 weeks, another tanker of gas. The amount of vehicles and keys they ordered from us, it could be quite substantial, the amount we need to get bought. Bridge maintenance. That's for a little bit more for the price of steel. Price of the metals is the big one, and the backfill and the gravel, but it's mostly in the steel. The prices are not coming down.
I got a question on that. If this is, we're talking decking and sheeting, right?
Each filing, stringers.
Is it, I don't know how we do this, but is it worthwhile having a conversation about like trying to bulk order a little bit to
We
improve
do
those?
bulk order when we can. But that's,
Now,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get you a good steady stock.
we've tried to group it together to be 3 or 4 bridges at a time that we build and bid all the major steel.
yeah,
The ones we can't group them by are the stringers because they're bridge specific to the permit.
Makes sense.
But other than that, the H file is the same, the caps are the same, the reinforcing, the decking we can pretty much order because we know by the road if it's going to be 24, 26 feet wide and whatever. But we are already trying to put 3 at a time together to get it down. And it does.
Get my question.
I do,
Like
yeah.
if we dip in and buy
Yep.
3 or 4 years worth, and then I don't know.
Mhm.
Well,
But
I would say on our list, we probably have 12 that you had seen and we hadn't started with. I mean, we have future projects already on our mind, but we're not getting to the point of permitting them and getting
I
ready.
mean, let's be honest, steel
But
isn't
would
gonna go
you-
down anytime soon, guys.
Could
It
we consider
takes labor to
throwing
make
that
it, takes oil to bring it out of the ground. I
in?
mean,
2 semi-loads of H filing? Oh, yeah. I mean, that's very possible.
Mhm.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's very possible. And not a bad idea.
And we got a place to store it though. We have to make sure we got room.
If we don't, we make more room out of it.
No,
got a big
I
building.
remember that little parking lot.
filled up with noxious weed chemicals.
Okay.
Yeah,
All of it?
yeah,
Really?
that's his plan. Instead of doing these little purchases here and there for noxious weed
Okay,
chemicals.
okay.
we're gonna
That's
buy.
what I'm attempting to do.
Yeah.
Is now that we're tracking everything on Public Works, in December, I should be able to come in and tell Janelle, we bought 4,000 gallons of Tordon.
Mhm.
That's what we used last year. That's what we're gonna bid for the whole year next year and so forth and so on with all the chemicals.
And hopefully also realize some savings by buying more,
By buying
if it's possible. So, yeah.
I mean, the first bid that we did this year was a small one,
Mhm.
but Nutrient and Big Beast over there, they were $100 part.
Yeah.
You know, even if it's small, the chemicals are,
That adds up.
they're very competitive. I'm guessing on their end, you know, so I don't have one to look at later today, 75. I'm asking to buy now.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be coming in 4, 5, 6 times next year asking for 70, 80,000. I'm going to attempt to total up what we use in a year and order it at once. And we have room to store it and it keeps and it's out of the weather and controlled. So there's no reason not to order $200,000 all at one time.
That's kind of where I think where my mind was. And then if you're not spending that, I even think about 2 years, but then you budget that back and put it back in the reserve account, and I think you'd end up saving money.
Yes.
It keeps a year.
Oh, yeah.
It keeps.
Oh, it'll keep.
Right. Keep it.
Actually,
Yeah.
well, I was thinking of that building because it's climate controlled, but you wouldn't get any rust on it or anything.
You know, the building.
I know they're stainless.
You know, behind
but
Sarah's office.
Yeah.
And back there where Chancey's camper,
Yeah.
emergency trailers. We've already-
It's the emergency
we've already-
emergency trailer. It's the emergency trailer.
It's an enclosed USC.
Yeah.
We have laminated stuff and tore out shelving,
Yes.
and we're gonna stack pallets.
Got them thinking we're buying campers.
Twice. Please, no. Sorry about that. But anyhow, that would be the odds of buying in bulk.
Mhm.
You know, one of the things that we should be doing more of, you know. And it's easier to come and ask one time for the whole thing.
Now, the scrap steel will go up and down, but does the finished steel change much, or is it just been
Yes.
going up?
Yes.
Will it go up
It's
and
not
down
as
too?
bad as it was. But our suppliers a couple of years ago were asking us to make our mind up in 3 days.
Yeah.
You know, we'll give you a price, but I need to know within 3 days or I won't be able to hold that price. They're not that volatile now, but they are still fluctuating up and down on the board every day. So it, you know, they may.
They may go back.
And we'll do our best shot to talk to the right people to, you know, get your quote in February, get her done now.
Sure.
Things are, you know, running on the downtrend on costs, I'm hoping so. But yeah, it's going to seem like some big money gets spent early, you know, and all at once.
Mhm.
And hopefully you don't see me back in here asking for any, you know, on the chemical.
I have to agree, and I think you're making a little bit of a hedge bet, but I don't think steel's gonna come down very much.
No.
So,
Me personally.
then we'll be down to road sand dust control. I did cut that by $5,000. Okay. We're not spending the full 20,000, so I'm gonna drop down to 15,000 on there, see if we can get by with that. Rock.
Ain't good.
No, but we're gonna ask for the same amount. I'm not gonna raise it. We are gonna try to keep our rock and our maintenance on our roads and get it done. It's just,
You were over, and I'm not, this isn't the dig, okay? But you were over budget. Does that
we don't.
mean we should put more in there?
That's not a reoccurring thing that has happened. Last year was not a fluke, but an anomaly that we had the weather just right. Couldn't miss it. But the average of the years here, the 290 should get us through.
Okay. Okay.
You know, I'm just-
Martin's got a formula that he uses for placement of rock, you know, so which
you know,
Yeah.
we do not go through and just rock end to end.
I'm all for cutting. I know that's all I really talk about and, you know, but we gotta be good budgeters too. So
Yes.
I'm not gonna, you know
Well,
what I'm saying,
And
Ron?
try to, throw me another
Mark, I want to talk a little about this rock.
Yeah.
Even though there's not a lot of hard rock here around this area, and I don't care what they tell you guys. The dust problems we incurred through the years of people complaining and the breakdown of that rock turning into it's chalk.
Yeah.
Even if we pay more for hard rock, it's cheaper in the end. If we can find it within a distance that's comfortable to be able to afford to transport it, we can. I don't think we can afford to buy that cheap rock anymore.
Yeah.
No.
I'm sorry, but I mean,
I'm there, and then the fight of that is if the diesel goes back to 3, we'll try.
Yeah.
$5, $6 diesel is just, it's hard for me to put the numbers
No.
and say I could.
But
go
to Ron's
even
defense,
The backhauling.
backhaul is what I'm asking, not you guys.
The backhauling at that price
Yeah.
is not the great.
I'm gonna counter argue that though. To Ron's defense, you put the soft rock down, you're applying it more
Yeah,
with more diesel.
which I'm that. That is probably why I'm not gonna put
Yeah, and I'm not.
any more down than I ever.
But you know what I mean? It's like, you know,
Yeah.
you do an experimental fertilizer down and then it doesn't work and then you gotta go apply fertilizer again.
And I traveled to a bunch of the different quarries to look at the better rock, and we found some by Emporia that was
I was
decent,
just gonna
and
bring that
some
up.
by Topeka that was decent, you know, and, you know, maybe we go after it. Maybe we have somebody haul it back to us, and,
Yeah,
you know, we have people, we have that connection to get back haulers, you know. It's just, you would still be at the mercy of the backhaulers if you went full force into that. We'd still have to buy the rock out of our local quarry just to keep up when I need it.
yeah.
To get all that here and ask them to haul all the way to Weed Harvest and bring me a load back, you know, would that be enough? How many tons could I get done? I'm for it. I mean, I
Yeah, no.
understand the better rock. I mean, that's why we didn't even chip seal this year, because of the cost to go get better rock, you know, and compared to the soft rock here, we just didn't use it this year. I didn't do any chip seal. I'm not for the soft rock.
No,
Although, as you say, we have been living with it for 60 years, 80
Yeah, no.
years. You know, that rock's, in your opinion, about the same as it was 20 years ago. The dust problem. We do have a little more traffic in
yeah.
the county than we've ever had.
Where's the state get their rock? And they do our highways.
They buy it from Kansas Falls.
Yep.
Right over
I
here.
do.
Yes, they did.
Kansas Falls.
Buyers on all 40.
Mhm.
And they do buy from Hams also. And they buy their rock in this area from
Right.
these
They
quarries.
don't usually haul it a long distance.
Okay, all that interstate work going on, that rock came from these two quarries.
I'm surprised it passed their state inspections.
And it is inspected, I will tell you that.
That is one thing Martin does put pencil to paper and look at,
Yeah,
you know, where we are going to purchase the rock and can we get it and still
You know, it's
So-
affordable.
make it affordable. That's
yeah,
the
yeah.
thing.
No, I know.
I love
I know this, we haul scrap steel to Kansas City frequently.
it.
I'm gonna
It's
bring
not all
it
the
back
time.
with you.
I know, just bringing it up. I'm not trying to contract my company, but I know we haul steel there.
Yeah,
It's in a belly dump, not a belly dump, it's a tilt
kill
trailer.
trailer. Yeah. That's how most.
And I'm
people
sure other
haul.
people haul too, but
I'm very open to spending that $290,000 right. I'm guaranteed.
Well, we're not getting, we know you're doing what you can do.
Yeah.
We're just trying to help out.
Yes. No,
I'm kind of with Ron though. I've
I
given it
will
a
never
lot too.
stop looking at the cost of getting it back.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Well,
free. But you did a good point. KDOT buys all the rock right here in our camp, out of our county, R2.
I'm just
Yep.
surprised.
All that rock that's piled up and all that stuff out here, Apex
You know,
here,
they hauled across the river and so you.
and they haul it across the river and sell it again.
Like I said, I don't mean to do that.
Where we had salt and sand, we're pretty well stocked, so I have lowered that cost by $5,000, 11%. We're ahead of the game there. Our stockpile's in good shape. Should easily get through the next year. Protective equipment. We've under better pricing and so forth, and we cut it by 50%. Done 1,000 on it. Transfer benefits, on everybody else, insurance. So road and bridge, negative 0.315% compared to what I was last year.
Well, I'll ditto what Ron said. You're bringing on a new department. From what I can tell, it's working pretty well for you. I appreciate you being willing to do that. So everyone knows you took on noxious weed and department. We've created a public works department, which allowed us to do a little cutting last year. So I want to thank you for doing that and hope that's working well.
It's worked well. And that's why I didn't get rid of the training in noxious weeds, because we have now got 3 guys that were on road crew that are, private license to spray, and we're using who we can out there, instead of just the people that were hired, since we didn't fill the worked it back and forth, and rain days work well. When it rains, they go out and they clean up the HHW and dump the paint and take care of aerosol and batteries and what have you. And we're working it. It seems to be working fine. But I appreciate listening to me, and hopefully the budgets will be fine. You want to talk a little bit about the KDOT?
Yeah, do you have any questions about the KDOT contract, or you just wait, do it during the regular meeting since it's on the agenda?
I don't, but
One little tidbit of news, good or bad, we did not get accepted on either one of our proposals for off-system or KLBIP.
Okay.
So we do not have future funded KDOT bridges anymore at this moment. We will reapply this spring and wait till June next year to find out on the next. I want the thing I highlighted there that I want was interesting is how many people applied and how much money there actually is and how few get funded.
So there were, the off-system bridge program, there were 80 applications requesting $92.2 million. They were only able to award 16 projects at 20.5. And then for the Kansas local bridge, there were 102 applications at 130 million. They were only able to award 20 million to 15 projects.
So out of almost 200, you got 30 projects.
Yeah,
And that's all that can be funded.
it's very competitive.
They're the people that are telling everybody to keep your bridges up.
Yep.
Keep it done. It's never going to happen if the funding's not at the higher level. Yes.
Just,
So Martin, real quickly, mowing,
Yes.
I just come down Jeep Road a little bit ago. We mowed that.
Us, of course, but Jess Coop out of Hope. He's
That is absolutely.
we broke
Looks
him
nice.
off.
Did you see it?
Yeah, we broke him off the paving crew and said, start mowing, we're behind.
It's a wonderful mowing job. They don't have to have a machine down in the ditches where he's tearing it up or getting killed.
He did pretty good. I bragged on him, east of Chapman. It was mowed
It
too.
was
I
nice.
saw it and called him up.
You guys are doing a nice job. Nice.
Yes, he does a nice job.
Tannenville, when you went east to Chapman. No, there were so many thistles between the lane of our homes. Did you see those?
Yes, and they've been, KDOT has been notified.
There are so many right on the pavement.
Yes.
Right on the
Yeah,
pavement.
they've been, we know, when we got the word,
Hello.
we notified.
You talked about that mowing.
Yeah.
It was good.
I did.
so Tim is here to review the 3 CUPs that will be on your agenda next week for
Oh, excuse me, sorry.
approval. So I don't know if you had any questions about them. They're all pretty straightforward.
No, I actually, to be honest, I didn't look at these yet. Oh, this is, okay, the wood shop.
Mhm.
The only thing that came up with that case of any concern was any environmental impacts that the shop would produce, either like sawdust, how they were going to get rid of their sawdust or their excess finish, and the generator that they're going to be using as a diesel generator is going to be enclosed with a fan. But other than that, it was in past, the condition that the planning commission put on it was that they meet whatever, and I already checked with KDHE, they said they actually, for stationary generators that are diesel powered, they do regulate those. So so they will have to go through them on that and also KDHE on the other stuff too.
So would this be like, a CP, would it be light industrial, I guess? Is that what you consider woodwork?
Consider light would be if we had zoning like that. it
Sure.
would be light.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see an issue with any of that. Mr. Ron does.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, this is the guided hunt service, right?
Right.
I have it. What's it say?
And like, trucks bringing in supplies, trucks taking out supplies and trucks bringing over.
Right, and well, the township has already been working with them on that for a while. So,
And this is, I guess, for a sign, is what this is for?
well, it's for that portion was for a sign, yeah, the planning commission has to approve sign. But what happened was, it just so happens that they were wanting to run a business, so I had them do a business as well. But the sign was kind of part of that together. Getting pretty
Is there any, I mean, is there anything we need to be thinking about? Or?
The only thing that came up on that particular case was the concern over the railroad track being so close to the property. Whether the sign could be put on there as a sign is feasible on private property, to just let them know that they caution, there's a railroad that you have to cross over to get into his property.
Sorry, but I was at the hearing, back on the generator,
Mhm.
their well is like 12 feet from generator.
And they'll have to meet whatever it is,
Deal is, so.
they'll have to meet whatever environment.
So you'll have your hearings next week on this.
um,
I don't think we have any questions, Tim.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So Tony, this is Tony Freeze, and he is here to discuss the fireworks resolution with you.
Okay,
Good timing.
yeah. Yes, over here, yeah.
Hello there. Well, I think many of you know me. I've been in the area forever. And our family has sold fireworks for many, many years. And this span 250 years, there's 15 in our family. They come from Anthem, Arizona, Kearney, Kansas, and of course, Chapman, Kansas. And when we sell fireworks, it's about impossible to shoot them because we're busy setting up the 10th, 29th, the 30th, we're selling, and we're there basically all evening And some of us are there in the same way first through the fourth. And what I live on 3 acres in Dickinson County. My son lives right next to us on 3 acres in Dickinson County. And what we would love to do is have our whole family sometime be together and shoot them. Well, this year been 250 years. We do have a few new products this year. And I'd like to, I've seen them on the big screen, but I haven't lit them myself. And we try to light everything and see what it does. Of course, my son's a doctor and we're very safe. But I'd like to see if there's any way we can get permission to shoot them sometime so we can all see it together. And when I say sometime, I know many places, and I'm not telling you guys what to do because you know more about it than I do, but many places allow June the 27th to July the 5th. And we couldn't, that wouldn't help us. It would only help us probably June the 27th or 28th, or 29th maybe July the 5th. But anyway, if we could get permission to do that, I truly would appreciate it, and especially for our family. And
Well, Tony, I can help you out. I'm gonna cut to the chase real quick.
okay,
That's a problem for you, is shooting your fireworks on the fourth, because you're busy.
yeah,
So I'll just come in, save me from buying them, and I'll take those same fireworks that you want to shoot on the 5th and shoot them on the 4th for you. What do you say about that?
you know, that's a really good idea for you. Because I think about it, probably wouldn't be the best idea for me, but I understand where you're coming from. But I thank you for your business. Thank you very much.
Welcome. Just teasing,
My-
teasing you.
My only thought is, I don't see an issue with it. I don't know what the logistics are of allowing an extra day, but I think we're gonna have to open it up for everybody. I don't think we just give you permission. I think everyone's gonna have to. I think that's what's gonna end up happening, essentially, is where I'm going with that. I mean, based off statute, based off resolution.
Here's the people that y'all have to come over. Tony Bus is very beautiful. We have neighbors across that, I don't know, Tony finds them, but they've kept horses out in the weather for over 4 years.
Mhm.
And it's horrible that they have no, and so poor Tony has to look at this. But, you know, yeah, the golf course, you know, he lives in a great place for fireworks.
Where I live, it's really a good place. The golf course, I really don't want to shoot on the golf course because I don't own the golf course.
Yeah.
If I owned the golf course, I'd say yes. In fact, we had a class reunion 60 years just a week ago, and they asked me about going shooting some fireworks. I said, I would love to, but I'm not getting in trouble. I said, I'd have to get permission. So, but anyway, I know there's times where people want to have, we don't do it, but some counties where they have weddings, there's times where they have some celebrations. But anyway, whatever, I would say, I just appreciate you considering it.
Well, let me be honest with you. People are lighting fireworks off on Sunday all the way till the next year. So maybe not in concession and in crazy procession, but yeah. I find these,
Permits are gone.
yeah, no, it's just a period.
In that resolution.
Yeah. Well, nobody was doing it. I mean, it was quite a senseless activity.
I always got one.
Yeah, I know, I did too. I'm just saying,
I didn't
the
really.
vast majority of us did not.
Correct.
When I say us, I mean everybody.
Yeah.
But no, I did it too, just because I lived on a company ground. So I'm like, probably, yeah, they're gonna come out here if we start. Personally, I think it's fine. I don't know what we need to do to allow it to happen. I don't know if we need to change the resolution or if we can give a special, we don't do permits. I don't even know what we do here.
So I'll
It's
look into this and see.
I'm in agreement.
Yeah, shoot your fireworks, man, have fun. That's the whole point of that weekend.
Let me.
Now, the horses I feel bad about, but that's their responsibility. That's not his responsibility. Yeah, I mean, if you're endangering your animals, that's a crime. So can't do that either.
I'm not saying you have to get better horses to get on.
Sure.
I'm saying that
You know them pretty well then.
You could update the resolution and change it to,
Thinking that too.
you know, so, but that would,
I'm almost wanting to write it to be 4th of July weekend. So we're
Well,
not changing the language because
exactly.
we tried to do that. So here's what we did. Last year, we decided, let's not make them do like permits. Let's just have a period.
Mhm.
Then here's what we wrote in here. Discharge of fireworks will be allowed only between July 1st and July 4th.
Yes.
And the event July 4th falls on Thursday or Friday, we're gonna allow it on Saturday. So we'll give you the 5th, which is kind of what we're saying now, but it's not exactly.
The 5th is on a Sunday, so, and that's why. So, and people have to get up and go to work on Monday, so you have that element as well. So
I mean,
that's why
don't
they
be-
did it on,
Maybe don't be doing it at like midnight.
yeah.
They usually-
Yeah.
You don't strike me as the guy that stays up till 2 lighting off fireworks.
I stay up late sometimes, so, but anyway, what I'm asking for is so we can shoot them
Okay.
as a family, but we can only shoot them, like I said, around the
The first through the-
27th.
Yeah, but you prefer to have it the 27th to discharge, the 27th or 28th to
Yeah, if I
discharge.
can do 27th, 28th, because if it's raining on the 27th, I
Right.
can't do it. So if I have 27th or 28th or 29th,
Mhm.
I'd be happy. I know one of the guys not gonna get here till the 1st, and he'd like it after the 4th, but he'll just have to miss.
Let us think about how the resolution needs to be worded and, no, I think we'll work to try to allow you to do that. I'm not gonna say you do it, you're good to go. Let's make sure we change the resolution, then you should be just fine.
Okay, and then
We could.
somebody will contact me.
Yes, I'll let you know.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Appreciate it.
yeah, no problem.
You gotta thank this shot, so.
Well, I just, lighting off fireworks the day after 4th of July, to me, just is like, well, go for it, man. But I get it. We got a resolution,
I
so,
like your signs, in 250 years too.
yeah.
And I've seen them around the county. That's nice.
Yeah, we gave out we had a grant program to kind of celebrate this year, and that is, in my mind, I'd love for everybody to celebrate, so.
Well, thanks again, and I won't
Thank you.
stay and bother anybody else. I'm out of here. Thanks again.
No problem.
Bye.
See ya.
I'll see about updating this and you guys can discuss it next week. That way there's time. Because if you like, we could make the dates that you sell and discharge from June 27th to July 5th, if you like.
That's,
They said on the time, you just summary from the 27th.
7th to discharge to the 5th. Mhm.
Yes. Because of the 250th.
Mhm.
and I guess what I do.
Yeah, because you.
That sounds pretty, I like the way that sounds.
Yeah.
I think that'll cover us going forward.
I said, that doesn't matter. It's moving forward. Just
It's so responsible for what happens after the fact. It's not. Now, does it put a little strain on fire department? Maybe. I was gonna say if there's a burn ban, we might have a problem, but that's a problem anyway.
That's, yes, exactly. Yeah,
You might shoot them off the 4th and then it smolders and catches fire and then the 5th you have a fire. So it may not even be shooting them off causing it.
and it's still limited, licensed or permitted vendor to be able to sell it anyway, so. Yeah.
If Ron, you're okay with it, could we, I don't think we have to vote on this because we would vote on the resolution. Could we just reword this to be the 27th through the 5th?
Mhm.
I'm good for that. I'm good. I'd be all right with that. That'd be fun. Cover us till next year, so if someone wants the 6th or something.
Yeah, yeah, because that's what's gonna happen.
Right here, final resolution. No more resolution.
I'll get it changed.
Yeah.
Changed and
We're
we'll
gonna go 50125, please. Oh, boy.
I'll get it changed. We'll get on the agenda for next week.
Thank you. Yeah. Any more business study?
No, not in study.
I will go ahead and conclude the study session. If anybody's got something they want to bring up, I think we do. We'll go ahead and resume at 11 a.m. regular meeting time. Thank you.
Take a quick break.
Yeah, it's kind of expected since we didn't change jobs. So.
Yeah.
It just the amount of bridges.
They're gonna do it anyway. They do it on.
I hear it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now. Yeah. Every once in a while, they light one of the tubes off.
I hear you.
Scares the dog.
On the detention center,
Yeah.
15th of December, you got to commit a payment to them.
They sent us these coins.
Here.
So we're down and got that.
So they record their books for that year, 2025.
Okay.
But you guys prepaid it for 26.
I see how that would work, yeah, because what because at the end of the year, we can actually, you can do that where if you're, so we're putting it in so that as the way our accounts payable was early in January, so it's counted with us as a 26. Yeah, so that I can see how that can be a discrepancy in the two book.
You guys wrote the check in 25.
Mhm. So you can apply it to the 2026 budget on the end of the year.
Which goes in until next year, the 27th.
Yeah, because some of those, so we budget them. And if our accounts payable is actually. We can have two for that last month. Basically, we're actually able to have, so we'll have some that we're paying because the invoice and the work was done in 2025 versus like that was meant for the 2026 year. Now they did end up receiving it, so it does cause a discrepancy between
Yeah.
the two.
It's so it
differences.
looks like our budget was higher than it should have been. 20,000. And I'm thinking, oh, wait a minute, I was more, what did we do with the budget?
But we,
The first of the year. So when. Now she pulled it up. I haven't even.
that's, that's all. Voices.
We ran it.
End of 2025.
So it's gonna short those guys with the budget. Then the year 27.
I feel like floaters, sometimes they, end of the year, you receive it on the third. We receive it on like the first or second.
Yeah.
And it throws off our year on sales tax because it looks like our projections were off by $150,000.
Yes, yes.
But in reality, if we received it, but we received it like a day later, so sometimes that end of year stuff. It's,
Yeah. Okay, we're good. We're good. This is kind of for just, it's just gonna throw things off.
Yeah, it'll make it.
Budget wise, it did. It just looked like we went away from the budget.
Yeah,
I mean, I was on those guys like, stink, no,
Yeah.
stay within your budget, don't go over it. Outside I was like,
You know, you don't even think about that, because I know how it applies to our books. I don't know necessarily, I wasn't thinking how it affects the other entities' books.
yeah.
You know, process on. So you still gotta think those through the
You
year.
know, if every county did that.
They would see nothing in 2026.
Right.
They were short.
Yep.
And, but if you looked back in 2025, they had a really good year, you know?
Yeah.
I see. Oh, thank you.
No, yeah,
That's all I.
we're cooking everything.
You're doing outstanding. Appreciate all you guys, what you do. My gosh.
Yeah, the guys, they're good.
I like that one though. Machines.
Well, I was like,
Look
I
at
was
that.
trying to figure out how Jess, because he mowed it such clean.
It looks like your lawn.
Yeah, I know, I said.
But what I like about it, you have to have a tractor down there where you can't see a damn thing, and it's dangerous for them.
Dangerous, yeah.
And all that. And he just got the mower over there and cuts it, and that's enough. That's all it needs.
Yeah, at least it matches, and he gets pretty good swath for,
Yes, he does.
yeah, he's getting a full cut, I said.
No, I wasn't picking on. I would try to compliment you on it. It's
Yes.
nice. That's safe.
Well, I actually told him this morning, you better do better today. That's when I give each other a hard
I
time.
see him one time.
I told him, I said, man, that looks nice. You're doing a great job of mowing. So
Yeah, he's.
it's all in that speed.
Yeah.
You don't get carried away and you'll get it done. Yeah, you take your time.
It's in Harrington one day. I said, how's things going for you guys? Oh, good. I said, how are those damn commissioners we were there?
There you go.
So they're looking after you guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everything's going fairly well.
Well, good.
know, a lot of thistle problems. It's not-
This is exceptional with all the moisture. It's terrible. All the road ditches is full of thistles. There's thistles growing in the
You don't
yard.
stop and cut them when you see them.
I try. Sometimes I think,
I tell you
Okay,
what,
so I-
I tell you what,
I could almost.
they have been really prolific right on the pavement this year. You notice that?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
some of the counties
Yeah.
are putting those weed well out. It takes a lot of years to get established. And it does eat in those heads. It
Helps get rid of it.
not change it because of the county, but did you see there has been a confirmed case of New World screwworm in South Texas?
But I hope you're in there. We're
Yeah,
there.
it was in a.
I remember in the '70s when it hit us.
Yeah, we're eradicating it and stuff, but, wait, you get a chance. Didn't think, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It seemed like he kind of glazed over some of that, so.
Yeah, yeah, there was that, the cabinet shop and the hunting issue and
Yeah,
Two
the
others.
hunt, there's a lot of the neighbors up that way. Kind of up in arms that this is a. And so they're a little more concerned. Some of them, well, and not just the safety thing there, but just the fact that there weren't police stuff.
well, to get up people, so I caught them with cameras on my land.
Well, last year we had people, there's people comes from Pennsylvania, they only own this teeny little piece.
Yep.
They finally bought, and they were road hunting our place and the sheep place.
You don't know.
And-
It's not even a business.
And so just as much caution as you can give to those things.
Yeah, well, it's not, I didn't have good experience. Like I said, I had cameras out and I caught guys that was from Lindsay Cattle Company. They were bringing people in hunting. They're on our land. I said, no, that ain't how it works. Get on your own property. Come over here.
Yeah.
But I got them, he called sheriff and sheriff didn't know who they were either because they were outsiders.
Yeah.
We never see them. We didn't.
Well, they deals came in there. Maybe it's better, but I do know the locals that they went, of course they get all more money because they're getting these big guys, spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
So they were leasing away farmland, but these local guys who work there every day, that's where they hunted for all their lives and money took it away from them. And Clay County was.
Well, I was upset because they come in and bought a bunch of land, like you're talking about, but they paid 4 times more than any of us are paying for it. Well, do you know what happened to our assessed values then? Well, this just sold for that. It's next to you, so I am yours worth.
Well, I do have a land for Harry Wiggins, retired general.
Mhm, I know
They just
Harry.
sold the land right next to us. And the guy did stop and introduce himself. They're agriculture from North Louisiana. And he said only, because I've asked him twice, only him and his family are hunting on there, but he's bought and they plan, this plans to be kind of a permanent thing. And so, when you come to me and I see your face and you're not, person can give you a shake, but these people, they live this bad, they're not even, I was a salesman that was for them, that was at that.
According to law, out-staters only have a license one, and then the next year they can't have it. It's a rotation. They can't have a hunting license out of state every year. They rotate it. So somebody else has got to be hunting it if they're not hunting.
Yeah, oh, well,
Sorry.
Well, then that's why, yeah.
anyway, and then they had a KDH inspection on that house, because I don't think the wells and stuff been updated
Well, that'd be,
on Mr. Sturt's house, you know which house.
yeah,
Yeah.
wow. Hmm. Hmm. So Janelle, what's happening in your world?
Well, working on budget, trying to make sure we're good with that. It's just taking some time. I've got people worried about roads. We went up and went and looked at the noxious weeds down there, but then we got township roads.
Yeah.
Well, this is an exceptional year for that too, though.
Yes, it is.
You know what? If that was all the problem you got, person had, that wouldn't be bad. 11 o'clock.
Kenny, it's 11.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
All right. I call this meeting to order. If they'd all rise for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Would all please remain standing for the invocation? I didn't write it down. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who have trespassed against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom of power and glory forever and ever. Amen. Thank you. You may see.
Psalms book is in his desk drawer. If I remember.
I need to do that. I honestly don't want to do it. I'm trying to find some.
I know.
I'm not that guy. I'll do it because we need to. Okay. Moving down to the approval of the agenda for today. We have a resolution 060426 declaring surplus property, real property tax relief application for 312 North Vine, KDOT agreement, project number 15-21, unofficial detour route from K-15 bridge project, consideration of purchase of noxious weed chemicals, approve updated MOU with Memorial Hospital for field.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Agenda is approved. Consent agenda minutes for the May 28th meeting are provided in our packets. Payroll of $438,975.01. Utilities of $12,929.30. Health insurance of $174.55.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second that. In favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Commissioner comments, committee reports. Sean, you.
Just real quickly, thankful for the rains we're getting, and looks like the crops are looking a little bit better, but I don't know how well they're going to do. And that's about all I have.
Thanks, Ron. I don't have much either. I don't have much at all. I don't have any reports. I attended, I'm sorry. I attended the North Central Regional Planning Commission. It was a pretty standardized report. We went through a lot of the budget, expenditures, expenses, and income. It was all pretty straightforward, past the budget. It was a productive meeting. Nothing else to report out of that. No petitions or proclamations. We'll go ahead and move into a brief period for public comments. If County Administrator General Dr. read the rules, please.
For the Open Meetings Act, KSA 75-4317 and 75-4318A, as the elected board, the county commission is not allowed to meet or make any decisions without posting the meeting. They are only allowed to act on items on the agenda which they set. During the regular meeting, the county commission may allow for public comments on items not listed on the approved agenda. It is at the discretion of the county commission if they allow comments on agenda items. If you wish to provide comments, please come forward to the podium and state your name and address. If you are online, raise your hand and we will unmute you. Please state your name and address. Each person may speak for 3 minutes. The allotted time will start after the speaker has given his or her name and address. Public comment shall be addressed to the county commission only and not to the speaker or the audience. Only the county commission will be permitted to ask the speaker questions. The public comment period is not a back and forth discussion with the county commission. You should make your views and input known to them, but it is not a time to ask them questions. You should not expect them to respond to your comments. Comments may express support or agreement with the previous speakers, but in the interest of time, please do not repeat the same information. You may state something to the effect of your name and address and you agree with the previous speaker. It is important to maintain a respectful, non-threatening atmosphere for anyone who would like to speak. Please do not engage in such actions as cheering, booing, clapping, insults, threats, etc.
Good to know. Do we have any public comments at this time? Seeing none, I'll go ahead and move on to reports from county officers. Start with County Administrator Janelle Dockendorf.
Commissioners, I submitted the funding application request to the Department of Justice on the COPS Technology and Equipment Grant for the 800 radio system. So yes, we've received notification that we've received it, but we also have to fill out an application for that. So I'm hoping that we'll have a response back soon on that, but soon to me is different than them. So I'll just say that. Public Works is continuing to pave on Barn Road, south of Solomon. I told you Monday that issue with the paver, and that has been repaired. So we'll probably take it in and have it just completely cleaned and changed out, run through that. We haven't done that for a couple of years, and just get it prepared to go for the next season. We did deal with some flooding over the weekend and this past week. So Martin had his crews out on Sunday. And then also we had them out on Wednesday for some rain that came to the southern part of the county. Thank you, Kay, very much for that. So it has been addressed, but that's something that we'll be keeping an eye on. And we know we'll probably have some debris removal that will take place on some of the bridges. We also had a bench that ended up being broken on the second floor, and we're looking at what we can do to repair it or replace it. And just as a reminder, district court offices will be closed on Juneteenth, the National Independence Day on June 19th, actually, this year. So I wanted to pass that on. So do you have any questions for me?
The paver, we just bought that though, didn't we, about 5 years ago?
Probably so, yes.
Right,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's very well maintained.
Okay.
It's just, it was probably time to have a complete overhaul and clean out and that on it. So, but it's back up and running, and we're figuring 1 or 2 more days to get that done. If you haven't had a chance to drive Barn Road, south of Solomon, they have done an excellent job as usual. So.
Yeah. I do not have any questions. Any more, Ron?
No questions.
Thank you, Janelle. Notices and communications, County Clerk Jennifer Gate.
Hello. Well, we have some filings for office. I was going to announce all the local candidates. Now, if you would like to see the full list, please go to our website at www.dkcoks.gov. Go to the county clerk and elections, and then you'll click on the elections tab. And then under primary elections, there will be everything for the primary elections, and you can see the full candidate list there. Okay. So starting with Dickinson County Commissioner, 1st District, we have Annabelle Eaton, Republican, and Ron Wolf, Republican, running for that office. Next, I'm going to review the township offices. We have township clerk open this year. For Banner Township, we have William Lorson, Republican, Buckeye, Jeff Bender, Republican, Cheever, Dennis Marston, Republican, Grant, Catherine Riffle, Republican, Hayes, Walden Wolf, Republican, Holland, William Bayou, Republican, Hope, Neil Pollock, Republican, Liberty, Todd Hettenbach, Republican, Logan, Brooke Woodward, Republican, Noble, Douglas Marston, Republican, Ridge, Todd McCauley, Republican, and Willowdale, Russell Irvine, Republican. Next, precinct committee men, Abilene Ward 1, William Howie, Republican. Abilene Ward 2, John Knockman, Republican. Abilene Ward 2, Dana DeLory, Republican. Abilene Ward 3, Ronald Sayre, Democrat. Abilene Ward 3, Brandon Ryan, Republican. Abilene Ward 3, Brandon McWilliams, Republican. Abilene Ward 4-1, Martin Fadden, Democrat. Abilene Ward 4-1, Austin Dane Roberts, Republican. Abilene Ward 4-2, Mac Teasley, Republican. Abilene Ward 4-2, Thomas Schwartz, Democrat. Banner, Chance Jacobson, Republican. Buckeye, Wesley Emberlin, Democrat. Buckeye, Joe Black, Republican. Center, Paul Freilich, Republican. Fever, Justin Hicken, Republican. Flora, Gregory Ponton, Republican. Fragrant Hill, Andrew Olson, Republican. Garfield, Kelly Fink, Republican. Grant, Curtis Ryan, Republican. Yeah. Hayes, Gerald Schmalzried, Democrat. Harrington Ward 1, Larry Dean Mann, Republican. Harrington Ward 1, Dan McDonald, Republican. Harrington Ward 2, Jonathan Rucker, Republican. Harrington Ward 2, Aidan Thibodeau, Democrat. Harrington Ward 4, Kenneth Statz, Republican. Holland, Donald Meyer, Republican. Hope, Larry Goracki, Republican. Jefferson, Kevin Harris, Republican. Liberty, Rodney Knott, Republican. Lincoln, Joshua Phelps, Republican. Logan, Lauren Rock, Republican. Ryan, Garland Rucker, Republican. Newbern, William Reif, Democrat. New Bern, Philip Rock, Republican. Noble, Robert Frazier, Democrat. Noble, Tyler Hedstrom, Republican. Ridge, Kent Rock, Republican. Reinhardt, Mark Crane, Republican. Sherman, Brad Barber, Republican. Union, Bart Hettenbach, Republican. Wheatland, Mitchell Wilson, Republican. Willowdale, Gerald Hanna, Republican. Willowdale, Timothy Bathurst, Republican. Moving on to precinct committee women. Abilene Ward 1, Marlene Howie, Republican. Abilene Ward 2, Carol Ford, Republican. Abilene Ward 2, Cheryl Delory, Republican. Abilene Ward 3, Teresa Brierton, Republican. Abilene Ward 4-1, Julie Willer Weeks, Republican. Abilene Ward 4-1, Roxanne Roberts, Republican. Abilene Ward 4-1, Merlin Horner, Democrat. Abilene Ward 4-1, Chris Osterman, Republican. Abilene Ward 4-2, Diane Miller, Republican. Abilene Ward 4-2, Deanna Schwartz, Democrat. Banner, Emma Jacobson, Republican. Buckeye, Joyce Kramer, Republican. Buckeye, Kylie Kilmer, Democrat. Buckeye, Tina Kelly Wilkins, Republican. Center, Lori McLaughlin, Republican. Cheever, Kylie Hicken, Republican. Flora, Debbie Ponton, Republican. Fragrant Hill, Krista Geffeller, Republican. Garfield, Kimberly Fink, Republican. Grant, Sandra Ryan, Republican. Grant, Marsha Wilson, Republican. Hayes, Leah Hearn, Republican. Hayes, Kristen Schmaltzried, Democrat. Harrington Ward 1, Christina McDonald, Republican. Harrington Ward 2, Amy Thibodeau, Democrat. Harrington Ward 2, Kaylee Rucker, Republican. Harrington Ward 4, Rhonda Strom, Republican. Holland, Sharon Jean Roberts Meyer, Republican. Hope, Pam Goracki, Republican. Jefferson, Rosemary Harris, Republican. Liberty, Beverly Knopp, Republican. Lincoln, Vicki Gill, Democrat. Lincoln, Pamela Larson, Republican. Logan, Carol Rock, Republican. Lyon, Georgia Rucker, Republican. New Bern, Terry Rife, Democrat. New Bern, Donetta Felbush, Republican. Noble, Isabella Hedstrom, Republican. Ridge, Mary Lynn Rock, Republican. Reinhardt, Kara Crane, Republican. Sherman, Audrey Sheets, Republican. Sherman, Rhonda Farber, Republican. Union, Cole Silhan, Republican. Wheatland, Denise Wilson, Republican. Willowdale, Deborah Hanna, Republican. And Willowdale, Pamela Bathurst, Republican. We also did have some filings for cities, but they do not go on until the November election, so I don't have those listed right now. We'll list them later.
I want to say one thing. Annabelle, don't be embarrassed coming up here and not, I appreciate you running. What I'm saying is, it's wonderful that people are involved in their community and more need to be involved to see what really goes on. Be proud, and I thank you for serving or wanting to serve. It's a great deal for the community. So, yeah.
Thank you for reading those. Question, has every precinct got someone run?
If it does, it's listed.
Good.
I think we are pretty full, but
It seemed full. So,
the precinct committee people will be voted on in the primary and they will win during the primary. They don't move on to the general.
correct.
And these township folks, they need to be complimented too. There's a lot of folks that are volunteering their time to serve on these townships that do remarkable things for our communities that, you know, it costs these folks to attend these meetings. It's not free. I mean, they're fueling their time and things and they're volunteering that. So that's very, I know Janelle, you have your annual thing yearly for the townships to come in and brief them and get together and things. And that's a wonderful thing. But there's a lot of volunteerism to make a community happen. It's not just people sitting in here. It's the whole community.
Well said.
Also, one more thing, just a reminder, the Dickinson County Recovery Court graduation celebration is Wednesday, June 10th at 3:30 p.m. here at the courthouse at 109 East First Street in Abilene, courtroom 1. That'll be it for me today.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Yep.
All right, moving on to introduction consideration resolutions. We have resolution 060426 declaring, declaring surplus property. I see on our list here, looks like vehicles this go around, am I correct?
That's correct, yes.
Yeah. We have a 2020 Dodge Durango, 2018 Ford Explorer, 2020 Dodge Durango, 2005 Ford F-350, 2003 Chevy 3500, and 2021 Chevy 2500 that are being listed as surplus inventory. Anything we need to explain around that, Janelle?
I don't think so. These are just, it's time for the rotation out of vehicles, so.
I'll make a motion to accept that resolution for surplus property, declaring it surplus.
Heard, second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Aye, sorry, I gotta say it. When I don't say it, it means I'm
There you go.
I'm saying it. Yeah, I gotta say it. Thank you, Ron. Moving down to real property tax relief application, 312 North Vine, Robin Black. We heard this.
Last week.
Yeah. I thought we got some,
You asked for some guidelines.
Yeah.
And I put together some information, not quite sure if that's what you were looking for. I think that this is a unique enough case because typically we do not have property tax relief applications for a partial damage on a piece of property. So normally they have been 100%, they were uninhabitable. So started off somewhere with the guidelines and see what you think about that. But as for this one, I think it's just, like I said, a unique enough case with the information that was provided to you. Hopefully you can make a decision on that.
well, we heard the insurance told her not to live in there, correct?
The city did.
The city.
Yes.
The city
Inspector.
indemnified it, right? Is that would be, not indemnified?
He just said
that's
we're
the
done.
wrong word.
You said it was uninhabitable in the current state because of the way the fire.
So the city is pushing her out because it's not habitable to their standards. So there is an argument for relief, I guess, in a sense, because of that.
Yeah. And remember, it has to meet a 50% threshold of damage per statute.
Yeah,
Yes, which based on what she submitted,
which you gave for
it
that.
does meet that, yes.
And and going off the actual insurance claim, it would have been about half of what she thought the house was worth, according to that, and then the valuations.
Right,
So
right.
I guess where I would be on this was probably 50% if we do it at all.
Mhm.
It's a little foreign to me, if I'm being completely honest, because I didn't know you could even do this if your house burned. I just thought your house burnt and you're kind of SOL. But
Insurance would take care of it as well.
right. You know, I shouldn't have said SOL, but yeah, I guess it's a little foreign to me in general. So I'm kind of neutral on this, Ron, to be honest with you. I get because she's not living there. You give her a little relief. That's where I'm at.
It's not really, not living in the house.
No, but her hope is if she can get everything completed by this fall, she would move back in.
My concern was that the community is providing services to that particular resident house, so whether it be fire protection or but they're not living there, but emergency medical assistance or whatever, our tax dollars.
Right.
But on the other hand, that property was, it occurred before that August 15th deadline and before January the 1st, which puts them in that credit category of
The damage, I think, was in October.
right.
Yeah.
If this event occurred on or after the August the 15th, you're saying October.
Mhm.
That was
Damage occurred in October. So if it was destroyed or substantially destroyed on or after August 15th of that year, but prior to January, then you're correct. Then you could do a credit against the property tax.
See, so she don't, okay.
Yeah.
So that's where I'd if
Mhm.
anything, be looking at doing to. And obviously the insurance isn't going to cover everything that's going on with that.
No. Would you be open to a 50% credit, Ron? Does that seem reasonable? Like, she's not living there. The city, like that part I can understand. Like, you're not actually using the home. If it's gonna take you a half year to rebuild it, that was where my brain.
Yeah, and I think for stewardship and for community service and respect, we're not here to get anybody. I wish people would stop thinking that, right? We're here to help our community. And 50% is not unreasonable. I don't want to sit there and say we're going to take taxpayers' money and blow it all or anything, but I think it's just a wise thing to do. So,
We still have to follow statute. That's the biggest thing. There are statutes out there that
yeah.
govern how we
Handle it.
handle things, yes.
Okay, well, I'm good. I'm gonna make a motion then. I motion that we award Robin Black at
312.
312 North Vine in Abilene with the 50% tax credit as applicable by statute. That's my motion.
Your motion, I'll second it.
Have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. You will inform Robin, please.
Yep, and I think there's a place for you guys to sign on.
It's on.
Yep, okay,
Hmm.
I'll just take the whole thing.
Why don't you just take that nice stack of papers you got there? Okay. I think we did the right thing. KDOT agreement, project number 15-21. I believe this would be to close bridge.
This is for KDOT's project that they are working on the bridge.
Yes.
This is the unofficial detour route. And as the little history, we were informed late that this was going to be happening, and all of a sudden they closed the road, and we did not have an agreement in place before the project started. So we're a little bit after the fact on that, but we worked with the local engineer with KDOT, and since they have an official detour route that state does, but they can only dictate state roads. They cannot have the traffic go on county roads. So we have seen an increase of traffic 10 times over currently what we normally have, and we do have counters up. That's going to increase even more because of the harvest that will be coming.
Is this the intersection you're concerned about, Ron?
No, this is on K-15 north of K-18.
Okay.
Yeah, towards Clay
Okay.
Center, so. But they're moving them up through Wakefield and around on state highways. So the detour, the official detour is pretty long. So people are taking First Road and coming down Mink. They're on 3350 Avenue, all that. So they're on county roads. So we made a request to KDOT to reimburse us or to pay us for the damage done to our roads. And so we're asking for a total of $740,000 to cover 9 miles of paved road that will be impacted and 3.25 miles of gravel road that we see. So, and we hope that that's enough money, but that's what we're asking for. So that's to repair asphalt roads.
But you know, and they're taking about 300,000 per blacktop mile.
Well,
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're not asking for enough.
I had the engineer go through and take a look at this. So we have to be reasonable with that as well. So they're not going to give us $1 million to do that. So I was,
900,000.
no, I was very surprised that they agreed to the 740,000, quite honestly. So
So this is somewhat of an agreement already.
yes,
We just need to accept it.
I just need you guys to accept it, actually.
Okay. I don't think it's enough, but it's better than nothing.
This is where we
Something's
land.
better than nothing.
Yes, yeah.
They just do whatever they want, make the rules, huh? All right. Any other questions, Ron?
No questions.
I'd motion to approve the KDOT agreement for the unofficial detour route K-15 bridge replacement.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Where is this in here?
It should be.
Okay.
So Janelle, would there ever be a time in history that you'll have extra asphalt to run from Rural Center down west to Magnolia, 3 miles? That's all I'm asking.
I know.
Put me on the list, put the people in that area list,
Yeah.
please. When they have a little bit in the truck, just go down there and help us out. Am I right?
Yes, it said me 12 miles going out of my way to come back.
There you go. There you are. I've been handling
I
it.
used to do it. I don't do
Oh, no.
Understand, yes, it's on the list. So.
Okay, thank you, Janelle. Thank you. Those in once in a while.
it. We just keep filing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All righty, we might move on. Consider purchase of noxious weed chemicals. I believe, just looking at this, it was 70.
Got two quotes there.
Oh, we do.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
one from Van Diest at $79,269.10, and one from Nutrient Solutions at, of course, it's not,
78,864.
yes.
It's pretty straightforward then.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go ahead and, Ron, do you have any questions?
No questions.
I make a motion to approve the Nutrient Solutions bid for the chemical application of noxious weed.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Staff is approved to go ahead and spend the 78,864.20.
Thank you.
We got to do our spread. Approve updated MOU with Memorial Hospital Fuel. This one's very similar, I think, to the cities.
It is, absolutely, yes. And we'll have two more coming from Grant Township and Grant Fire
Okay.
that utilize the service as well, so.
So we work on an agreement for the public. We work on an agreement to share fuel costs. So we have a county yard here in town that we have a tanker. They can come in, refuel there. I believe we have cards or scan deals.
There's Pro Key and then a system that logs and watches how much those being.
And respectively, we charge a 10-cent administrative fee on each gallon used, just to keep the management of it under control and not put a burden on the county. Ron, any discussion around this?
That's a good deal. No discussion.
I think so too. I think it helps us all make money. So
And it's just for taxing entities.
that's true. Yeah, no, we're not. Yeah, we're not selling
Yeah.
fuel. I got you. I don't think they'd like that.
That would violate federal law too, so.
Ron, do you want to give a motion?
Okay, I'll make a motion on the Memorial Hospital for the fuel approval update.
I'll second that motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Approved for the MOU. I believe that concludes our county business for today, unless you have anything else. A motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Oh, it wasn't so bad.
Nutrient, it was Kenny and then Ron.
Yeah, I got a question for you.